In the eclectic and vibrant world of anime, where tales of fantasy, horror, and adventure intertwine, there exists a story shrouded in mystery, whispered about in the dim corridors of online forums and hushed conversations at conventions. This is the tale of an episode so unsettling, its very existence has become the stuff of legend.
The series had always flirted with dark themes, but this episode was different. It seemed to break through the boundaries of what we expect from fiction, like it was meant to affect you, not just entertain.
Rumored to employ sensory manipulation techniques, the episode dug into the human psyche in a way that left many viewers deeply disturbed.
Infrasound frequencies, sounds below the threshold of human hearing, have been known to produce a range of effects, from unease to outright terror. The episode utilized these frequencies in a way that was unprecedented. We're talking about sounds that you're not consciously aware of, but you feel them, deep in your core. It's unsettling, to say the least.
Flashing images, dual-layered audio, everything was designed to reach the audience on a subconscious level.
There were whispers beneath the soundtrack, just low enough that you couldn't make out the words. But they were there, creating a sense of paranoia. It was like the episode was speaking directly to your mind.
Following its few test screenings, disturbing stories emerged from those who had seen whispers in the Porcelain. Viewers reported experiencing strange, lingering effects.
Started that night. I thought it was just me, shadows moving when I wasn't looking, sounds I couldn't explain. But it didn't stop. Felt like something had entered my life and just wouldn't leave. It was subtle at first. Objects, where I left them, my keys, my shoes, my dresses, I'd find them in strange places. And I started to see her reflection, Midoriko, just out of the corner of my eyes. I turned, and then she was gone. But I knew she'd been there.
These weren't isolated cases. From Tokyo to Los Angeles, similar stories began to surface, each more unsettling than the last. This growing phenomenon became known as the Midoriko effect, named after the haunting doll central to the episode.
I could hear her whispers in my dreams. And then during the day,
my dog barked at the corners of the room, growling at something I couldn't see. It started after I watched that episode.
She started appearing in mirrors, just a flash of her, but enough to make me look twice. It's like she was always just out of reach, waiting.
The Midoriko effect took on a life of its own, with viewers claiming they could feel her presence long after the episode ended, an episode that was never meant to see the light of day. But perhaps the most tragic and chilling story tied to Whispers in the Porcelain is the disappearance of Ella Marrow, the American voice actress who brought Midoriko to life in the American dub. Ella Marrow had always been passionate about her roles, but friends and colleagues noticed a change when she began voicing Midoriko. Some have speculated that the shared surname between Lena Morrow, the acoustic engineer, and Ella Marrow, the voice actress, is more than coincidence. A subtle link between sound and spirit woven into the fabric of this unsettling tale.
People like to draw connections where they can, but it's funny. Sometimes a name is just a name.
Ella was always meticulous, but with Midoriko, she changed. It was like she wasn't just playing the part, she was living it. After we wrapped up recording, she started saying things that didn't make sense, talking about hearing Midoriko's voice, feeling her pain.
Then one day she disappeared. Her car was found abandoned at the edge of a forest. Search teams followed her footprints deep into the woods, but they stopped abruptly, as if she'd vanished into thin air. One officer said, "We searched for weeks, but it was like she'd vanished into thin air." The forest can be a confusing place, but Ella, it's like she knew where she was going, or maybe what she was going to. Rumors of sightings in the forests beneath Mount Fuji only deepened the mystery. A foreign woman, whispering to herself, wandering the paths less traveled. Was Ella seeking Midoriko in the physical world, or had she crossed into another realm entirely? To this day, Ella Marrow has never been found. Some say she crossed into the world of whispers in the Porcelain. Others believe Midoriko took her. Before we dive deeper into the origin of this strange anime, there is one more puzzle piece to discover. In analysis of the lost episode, it was discovered that imagery would flash for just 24 milliseconds. Not long enough to fully process consciously, but enough to seed a lingering discomfort. It's like the episode was painting nightmares directly onto the back of your eyelids. All of this could be traced back directly to the original manga, crafted by creator Toshiro Kageyama. Known for his brilliant, often disturbing works, Kageyama was both revered and feared by his peers. Beyond the veiled mysteries and the haunting tales of the Dollmaker of a lifetime, Toshiro Kageyama's story is interwoven with friendships that shape the landscape of modern manga and anime. His bonds with giants of the industry, such as Hayao Miyazaki, Rumiko Takahashi, and Junji Ito, provided a fertile ground for cross-pollination of ideas. But Kageyama's inspirations weren't confined to the realms of horror and fantasy. He was deeply influenced by the rich tradition of Japanese comedy, particularly the vaudevillian art of rakugo. This narrative comedy, with its emphasis on storytelling and wordplay, infused Kageyama's work with a unique rhythm and pacing, a balance of light and dark that allowed his stories to breathe, to dance on the edge of shadows without being consumed by them. Neko no Kimochi explores the whimsical adventures of a house cat who believes he's a samurai from the Edo period. With his trusty sword, a rolled-up newspaper, he defends his home from various invaders, including mailmen and stray cats, all while trying to uphold the bushido of being a good pet. In Gyoza Giggles, a down-on-his-luck chef discovers he can make gyoza, dumplings, that, when eaten, cause uncontrollable laughter. The manga follows his rise to fame as the culinary world's first comedy chef, serving dishes that bring joy and silliness to the hearts of his patrons, despite the rivalries and mishaps along the way. Sumo Love is a romantic comedy set within the sumo wrestling world, where a young, slender rookie falls for the sport's reigning champion. Through a series of comedic training montages and misinterpreted love letters, the manga humorously explores themes of love, strength, and the pursuit of one's dreams, no matter how unlikely they seem. Kageyama only gave one interview in English, just as his most infamous creation reached a zenith of popularity.
Kageyama-san, your work spans such a wide range, from whimsical comedies to existential horror. What drives your storytelling?
Inspiration comes from everywhere. A shadow on a sunny day, a fleeting thought that lingers longer than it should. Life is full of stories, some light, some dark. The difference is in how we tell them.
Your latest work, The Dollmaker of a Lifetime, explores some deeply unsettling themes, particularly in its rumoured episode, Whispers in the Porcelain. Can you tell us what drew you to such dark subject matter?
Horror and comedy. They are two sides of the same coin. Both play with expectation, leading the audience to a moment. Whether that moment makes them laugh or terrifies them depends on the timing.
Is there a message behind the horror?
Fear is the most honest emotion. We are all afraid of pain, of death, of being alone. The real terror doesn't come from the unknown, it comes from getting exactly what we expect and realizing it's worse than we ever imagined.
That's quite a dark view of the world.
Perhaps, but it's the truth, isn't it? We find comfort in knowing the worst, because at least then, the waiting is over.
Kageyama's retreat from the limelight was as sudden as it was complete. From the heights of visibility to a recluse, his departure left many questions unanswered. Yet, it was in this seclusion that the most enigmatic chapter of his story would be written: the creation of a theme park, a realm where his darkest narratives took physical form. Rumors began to swirl about a mysterious theme park Kageyama had built deep within the forests of Japan. The park was said to be a physical manifestation of the eerie, haunted world he had created in The Dollmaker of a Lifetime. Only a handful of people claim to have seen it, and they speak of a place that seems to warp reality.
線での CC のキーユイッシュに際したのはジュエタイマスドッドッドしかし、シャン CA ドッドッドッドし
I remember signing a contract for a job in the forests, but the details, they're just gone. It's like waking up from a dream, only to find the dream was real, and the money in your account the only proof it ever happened.
私たちはみんな、大きなプロジェクトが隠されているという噂を聞いていました。でも、周りに聞いてみると、
We all heard rumors of a project, a big one, hidden away, but ask around and it's like chasing shadows. One day you're planning, the next you're looking back on months lost to a haze, with nothing but a hefty payment to show for it.
One such person was James Thornton, an American with a passion for dark tourism. He went in search of the park, documenting his journey, but after sending one final photo of the entrance to the Whispers in the Porcelain ride, he disappeared without a trace. James Thornton's disappearance after visiting this park adds a dark chapter to the lore of Dollmaker of a Lifetime. Did he find what he was looking for within its gates? Or like so many before him, did he become another whisper in the porcelain, a ghostly echo of curiosity and obsession? Since James Thornton's disappearance, little else has surfaced about whispers in the porcelain. Occasionally, collectors claim to have unearthed an old VHS transfer of the original episodes, but no official archives contain a trace, not of Whispers in the Porcelain, nor even of the series itself, The Dollmaker of a Lifetime. It's as if both have been erased, existing only in rumor and fragmented memories. And yet, the legend persists, whispered about in online forums, discussed in hushed tones at conventions, and chased by those drawn to the unknown. Perhaps it is the very absence of proof that fuels its power. It's not just a lost episode. It's a void, and in that void, our darkest fears take shape. In the end, Whispers in the Porcelain has become more than an episode. It's a ghost story, passed from one curious soul to another, growing in the telling. And like any good ghost story, it's not what's visible that frightens us, but the shadows lurking just out of sight. This has been Echoes Unheard, the mystery of Whispers in the Porcelain. In the end, some stories once heard can never be unheard.
Where you go, I will follow you. I give you the stars, you give me the echo. Wherever you stray, night or day, I will walk inside your shadow. あなたの夢に忍び込む風、それは私です。The wind that creeps into your dreams, that's me. Red color heart shot is stitched up tight. 私の中の死んだ光はあなたの光を追い尽くし、あなたを探す鳥の巣に住み着きます。明日なんか dream take a button of ice。 私の中の憎しみの魂はあなたを軽蔑し、あなたの後を追うすべてのウサギのぬいぐるみに住み着くように成長します。 Wherever you hide, I will find. I'll become the road beneath your feet. あなたの声の中にさえ私は存在します。 Every tear, every fear, I will twist them into threads. 終わりのない歌、それは私です。